together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. God, David, you are just always on it. You usually say it, but that's why I have that theme song in there. Is it gives people time to get on. That's one trick. The other trick is, hi Danielle, good to see you. Good morning. The theme song, yeah, it has a couple purposes. One, it's supposed to waste a little bit of time. It's supposed to bring some hope. There's a full version of that song we're getting ready to record and put out, by the way. We asked her to do a full version, and it's freaking beautiful. And if nothing else, what it does is it cuts off abruptly, making you want more. That's the trick. All right. So today we are talking about how negativity works in your life. And for people that are in addiction, doesn't matter the addiction on this one. Hey, Jerry, I'll do my best to not let the cats cut it. Yeah. So I was doing this yesterday. And my cats unplugged the internet. So I was gone for a minute. Thankfully, I was on Instagram and Jeff was helping me out. So, all right. Kenny on Instagram, good to have you. I'm going to grab a fan real quick. So there's a lot of different forms of negativity that I want to cover. Number one is outside negativity. I have a hard time talking with people that are negative all the time, like there's just always something wrong. Right? I usually have to bring in a little bit more love and tolerance. For that, though, I mean, it can just get hard because, maybe they know the answers, but they're refusing to do the work. So we do what we can. That's a negative outside influence. Maybe people that don't believe in us. My mother-in-law will not accept the fact that I have been sober as long as I have. She doesn't believe it. She thinks I'm lying. Right? What other kind of negative forces can come out? Well, you might have something from your past coming along. Bill collectors, right? I get mad at FSR once a week because they harass me. Like, yeah, get off my butt, man. Speaking of which, I need to go to the bank. Okay. Maybe I'll do that right after this. So what, and what are we going to do about that? But I'm going to get to another portion of negative talk. And we don't even realize that we're doing it. Right? It's because it's how we normally talk. We've been bred this way. But how you talk to yourself matters. It does. I'm going to give you some good examples here. I'm not going to get sick. Guess what you're going to get? Sick. It's a negative comment. Okay? Your brain doesn't understand the difference between the two. It's just doing what it's told. It's like a computer. It's just doing what it's told. All right? What would be the opposite of that? I feel healthy. Yeah, but it feels kind of silly, doesn't it? Go stand in the mirror. I feel healthy. But I've seen people not get sick doing this stuff. Right? Just don't drink. It's another one. Guess what? You can predict your own future. You can. A good example was skiers. You ever seen skiers go in and out of the trees and stuff and da da da? Now, when they're going through, when they're going through, they're not thinking, watch out for the trees, because guess what's going to happen? They're going to hit a tree. No, follow the path. Follow the path. I can see where I'm going. Yeah, I know these ones. Sarcastic comments from a negative comments from other people who you care about. Yeah, I just call those snarky. You know, where it will happen all through your life, right? There were when I did it was I don't know about a year and a half ago. So he told, "Oh, dear, you're not gonna, you can't be a successful podcaster. That's beyond you. You can't educate people. There's other people better than you." See? And then they said, "Why don't you just come work for me?" After you just got done talking to me, after you just tore me down, you can kiss my ass. No, I saw right through that. It's called gaslighting, right? Where somebody uses your mental illness against you. That happens a lot in this program, right? Usually from outside forces. People in the program, yeah, we have our days. No, not everybody's sick on the same day, thankfully, right? When I'm having a down day, then you guys are having better days, and you help lift me up, right? There's been times I've come on here not having a good day, and you guys help me out. So let's get to the daily reflection, see what it has to say. I haven't even looked. February 7th. I bet it's on step 2. A path to faith. True humility and an open mind can lead us to faith, and every AA meeting is an assurance that God will restore us to sanity if we rightly relate ourselves to Him. Okay. So, true humility. Yesterday, or the other day, I talked about humiliation versus humility and what humility is, and being humble. It's on the other side of humiliation. In fact, they don't match at all. So, true humility. Man, now we don't just have humility, now we have true. So that's 12 Steps and Traditions, page 33. Gee, I've been reading this a lot. If you are indeed the practicing alcoholic who have any idea how irrational they are, or seeing their irrationality, can bear to face it. It's like when that man came up to me and said, "Dion, is enough enough? Have you had enough yet?" My answer was, yeah, I was beat, man. I was beat. Some will be willing to turn themselves problem drinkers, but cannot endure the suggestion of the fact that they are mentally ill. That's the hard part. That is the hard part, because not only do we have a disease, we have a mental illness. Those are two separate things. And I'll tell you why, because we deal with the disease in the book, right? But your mental illnesses, if they aren't taken care of in the 4th and 5th step or the 9th step, and you're still feeling it, then you need to talk to somebody. You need to reach for outside help. It tells us to do that. It says to practice these principles in all of our affairs, all of them. But that's the hard part. Oh, I have a disease and I'm mentally ill. Yeah, I didn't necessarily like the answer either, but now that I know, I can do something about it. I am no longer mentally ill. I have good days, I have bad days. But anything that comes through me is my responsibility. That's how I take it now. And it took me a while to make that change, right? because I was like, okay, I got to take responsibility for my own actions, but this person needs to leave me the fuck alone about it. So what I did is I started finding the right arenas for me to talk in, so I could tell my truth. This is one arena. I have my podcast, that is another arena. I have my AA group, that is another arena. Okay. Then my therapist, that is another arena for me to talk about what I need to talk about. They are embedded in this blindness by a world which does not understand the difference between sane drinking and alcoholism. Yeah. A lot of people just don't understand. My older brother has a master's in psychology, and he does not understand why I had a relapse. He doesn't understand why, after 12 years, I had a relapse and hurt my family. It's not for him to understand either. It's not for me to force that down his throat and make him understand either. All I can be is an example. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you, man. Sanity is defined as soundness of mind, yet no alcoholic soberly analyzing his destructive behavior, whether the destruction fell on the dining room furniture or his own moral fiber, can claim soundness of mind for himself. Therefore, step 2 is the rallying point for all of us. Whether agnostic, atheist, or former believer, we can stand together on this step. True humility and an open mind can lead us to faith, and every AA meeting is an assurance that God will restore us to sanity if we if we relate ourselves to Him. God, it's enough. It's enough. My last drunk had landed me in the hospital, totally broken. I don't hate hospitals, but I don't like them. I spent a lot of time there between my heart attack and DTs. I'm just glad I had Medicaid, or I'd have another amends to make. Be a financial amends, right? It was then that I was able um, to see my past float in front of me. I realized that though drinking, I had lived every nightmare I had ever had. My own, see, and there it is. I have lived every nightmare I ever had, predicting your self destruction. See how negativity is working in just this part right here. See, since we're talking about it, the intentions are around it, which means it's going to pop up everywhere. It's kind of like when you go to a meeting and you heard exactly what you needed to hear. You want to know why? Because your intentions were there, and that is what you were listening for. Welcome to miracles. Intention is God. My own self will and obsession to drink had driven me into a dark pit of hallucinations, blackouts, and despair. That's the one thing that I didn't get was hallucinate. Well, I don't know. No, I don't think I had hallucinations. Finally beaten, I asked for God's help. His presence told me to believe. My obsession for alcohol was taken away, and my paranoia has since been lifted. I am no longer afraid. I know my life is healthy and sane. I can drive around without worrying about if the popo's behind me anymore. I love that. I love it. I love it. In fact, when I'm done here, I'm going to go hop in the car and drive around legally. See, as a Virgo, I follow the damn rules, man. It's not very often. Well, if as long as I'm not drinking, I will follow the rules. And the rules say, Dion, you didn't have your license, you can't drive. And I'm still not used to it. I will still ask my wife to do things in the middle of it, be like, oh, maybe I can do it. You know, it's been nice because I've been able to go to a couple of live meetings, and not that I don't love my Zoom meetings, I do, but there's just something different about the live meetings and feeling the energy from the people. Um, I just got off the phone with Michael. She's the director of harmony, and we talked probably 6-7 minutes, and it was a great talk. So it's amazing what can happen in just a few minutes of talking to somebody that's like-minded. And it turns out we weren't able to really do anything for each other yet, but I did convince her to come on the podcast. So there's going to be that, which is kind of cool. There's always a chance for something. Every conversation you have, there's always something out there that there is where you can supply hope. I mean, so try this. I've been doing this since I was very, very young. So the trick is, and can't say it happens every day, but I get pretty close. Okay, that is to make one person a day smile or laugh. One person a day. It's not much. But there is a rule. The rule is it can never be the same person twice. So what happened is in the beginning, and I did this because I was shy and I was trying to get out of myself. So I was forcing myself to become more social and to say what was on my mind, because I was always afraid to say what was on my mind. Turns out that I'm kind of a witty guy. Right? So once you go through all your friends and your family, then you're going to have to, when you go and buy a pack of smokes, you're going to have to make that person laugh, because that might be the only person you see today. And what happens is that becomes a natural part of your life. And before you know it, everywhere you go, you're having a good conversation with somebody. You're having a meaningful conversation with somebody, not just, hey, how about the weather? Or how about the Broncos? Or, then you have more meaningful conversations. I remember I was sitting at the DMV waiting for a client to go and get their driver's license. And while I was there, I ended up talking to this lady, and it turns out that she was a manager at FSR, Family Registry. And so I asked some questions on what it's actually like and got more informed. You never know. You never know who's standing around you. Just say hi. Hey, I'm bored. What kind of work you do? Yeah, we're up to today. Get to know people. Complete strangers. Get out of yourself. And you'll find that your sanity will come back. All right. That's what I got for today. I'll be back tomorrow for daily reflections. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Kenny, it was good to see you. Then we had David, Danielle. Welcome. It was good having you here. And Jerry and Chris. All right. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.